trying to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Thank you for joining me. Your host is Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo, and you are watching Divine Encounters. Hello, Seekers! I'm so excited to be back. I know I've been gone for what may have felt like an extremely lengthy amount of time, although it's been 3 weeks. I'm sorry, but I'm back now. Yay! Back and refreshed with a bunch of new knowledge to share with you guys, and, of course, a fantastic new guest tonight. But before we get into any of that and the people I have procured or received from Texas, let's go ahead and I drink to your health, wealth, and prosperity to all of you. Yes, today is Wednesday. You guys already know it's Supernatural Story Time, bringing you guys a brand new story every week to inspire you, uplift you, and help you create divine experiences in your own backyard. Speaking of your own backyard, make sure you guys check out my Facebook challenge room, the Seekers Challenge Room. This is going to be a place where you manifest adventures. And if you guys follow me at all, you guys know I am never still. So if you want to manifest that kind of adventure in your life, check out how you can do it in your own town to build up that momentum for the bigger, the absolutely bigger, more monumental adventures. And my website is up, oracleofapollo.com. Check it out so you guys can go ahead with me and become a coachee, learn some workshops, get some readings done, or even energetic healing sessions, all right here on oracleofapollo.com. If this is your first time watching, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm letting you guys know I am live streaming every Wednesday, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you smash that heart button. Let me know that you're here. Make some noise right there in the comment section below. And if you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay. All right. Love it, love it, love it. Super excited about tonight's episode. This is all going to be about water. And I just met this person at Medicine for the People Festival. He was doing these very particular, interesting kind of readings. And he was gaining information from the water itself. And I thought, wow, let's bring him on here so he can introduce himself and share with you guys a modality I had never seen previously to this. So let's bring on my guest for tonight with our Supernatural Story Time, JauN Claude. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here.
Hello. Good night. Good afternoon. My name is JauN Claude, and I work with Fluvial Constellations. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're happy to have you here, coming back into action, bringing you right back out of Texas. So you're in Houston right now, correct?
That is right. Correct.
Let everybody know at home a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay. My name is JauN Claude Sanel Duarte. I come from Venezuela. I moved here when I was 8, and ever since not too long ago, I started working with water. And water speaks to me, and with using little figurines, we're able to see how we're arranged within our family.
Wow. And that's amazing. And I saw it firsthand, and I thought that was very impressive on how we can shift the energy in our family dynamics with the assistance of water. Fantastic. So, JauN, I love to start off every single episode with what's good, and it's basically like the collective theme for the week. So we're going to check that out and raise the vibration before we jump into your story. So to that, I say, in the audience at home, make sure you're sharing this. Let everybody know we're live and we're back in action. And what's good? All right, so today's card on what's good is the 7 of Voices. And actually, I have been personally getting this card more than my liking. Okay, but let's go into it. You guys already know. Let's see what this card is all about. The 7 of Voices keywords are trickery, thievery, deception, taking only what you need, being honest and aligned, paying attention to what's really going on, con artists, copycats, and seeing past deceits, the aftermath of illusion. Okay, microphone nice and close. Here we go. Oh, how lovely it all looks. How serene the bridge, with everything in perfect order. It leads to perfectly shiny things, so she stays focused on the green meadows that lie ahead. They promised her perfection, you see. She looks up, suddenly noticing the muse looming ahead with her intense gaze, peaceful, yet insistent. And something feels off, a gut instinct, something that she can't quite put her finger on. Something made of shadows happening in the reflections. Her inner senses are tingling with the most distance of alarm bells, and she knows she must trust her instincts on this one. As you cross your own bridge of illusion, the muse warns you to be on the lookout for deceit, theft, or the misalignment of values. Take only what you need, trusting your own integrity to guide you. The security of your moral compass will grant you passage. Only in truth can this threshold really can be crossed. Here is the little poem. When the oceans of truth so openly welcome you into their womb, why do you settle for puddles of half lives and seek morsels of nourishment, knowing that they could never sustain your soul's life force? Ooh, that is a big one. Wow. Jean Claude, what do you think about this message for today with the Seven of Voices?
I feel like it resonates really deep within me, and I feel also that as we go along life, we're going to be represented or presented with opportunities and with wisdom and knowledge and energies that'll be there to guide us and help us. We just have to be willing to let go of what we know in order for us to step into the unknown and be carried onto what we're meant to go to next. So yeah, that's what I feel.
With staying honest and staying fair,
Hmm.
even with the contrast, and I want to point this out from this card, even with the contrast that not everyone will behave in that same manner. But you have to hold yourself accountable because with the law of karma, hello, Erica, with the law of karma, we know what we put out ourselves is what we are going to receive in return.
Okay.
So that is a strong, I think that's a strong message for a lot of us right now. So thank you for that.
Thank
Guys,
you.
let me know in the comment section, seekers, what you feel is highlighted for this message for you in the Seven of Swords. And if we take a little peek here in the background, our angel blessing for today for the collective is the angel faith, and the freedom that it brings. And she's blessing the collective with balance. And make sure that you guys claim your blessing of your angels in the comment section below because the angels always want to work with you and serve you, but they respect your free will. So make sure you're claiming that. I claim it for myself. And every time you hear that bell, we are claiming something and clearing the energy around it so that it can be hyper focused right to us. Yay! Love it. All right. So now we're going to jump into a energy clearing, Jean Claude, and I want you to tell me, do you want to receive or do you want to give today?
I'll receive.
Okay, fantastic. So, everybody at home, this is the time where you guys are going to let yourself know and let me know in the comment section below where are you at energetically in this moment? From 1 to 10, where are you? 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can have, 10 being this is the most amount of energy I can have. And put that in the comment section below now. I feel like for myself, I'm at like an 8.5, but I feel very grounded and like calm. That's what I feel like right now. How about yourself?
About a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Angelo. Where are you guys at energetically from right now? Put it in the comment section below. I want to know 1 to 10. It's important that we take an assessment before we go into the experience, This way we know if we shifted and what we felt. All
Mhm.
right, so you guys are going to hear the bell here. And once that bell hits, we're going to have 60 seconds on the clock. And that's going to allow us to just close our eyes for 1 minute, literally 1 minute, and breathe into the experience. Angelo is at a 6. And Mr. Robert says about the card that this current situation is very deceptive, my own. I claim those blessings and have asked for assistance. Hold on, let me hit that for you. Boom. This means that the opportunity to serve another continues to be the best source of fuel for me. And Robert is at a 5. So we can get a little bit better than that today for sure. All right, so go ahead. If you're sitting, make sure your feet are flat, spine is erect. We're going to hit this bell, eyes closed, and we're going to start the timer. 60 seconds on the clock. Beautiful breath in. And I just want everyone to experience the energy of safety, even if they are feeling contrast in their life. So, breathing in, I am safe. I have everything I need inside of me to navigate unknown waters, unknown fears. I recognize my own inner strengths, and these lessons are opportunities for me to shine brightly in my own life. Nothing will stifle me, nothing will stop me, nothing will stop my warrior spirit. I am safe. I have all that I need inside me. And just continue to breathe this in a circular motion and feel yourself expand, releasing any illusions, deceptions that we have in ourselves that no longer serve us, letting go of any old programming. On this next breath in, go ahead and breathe in gratitude for yourself, kindness for yourself, and just notice your body exhaling one final time, bringing that left and the right palm to touch one another in prayer position in front of your heart space. Let it go. And we thank everything that is greater than us for this moment. Namaste. And now you can gently open your eyes and come back to the here and the now, coming back in. And let me know in the comment section below what you felt. If you feel hot, cold, tingling, energy, tickling, anything that you felt was uncomfortable, did you release at all? Burping, crying, anything? And where are you at energetically in this moment from 1 to 10? 10 being the most, 1 being the least. Let me know how you shifted. For myself, I feel like I'm at a 9 and 9.6. I feel very elevated but extremely grounded, and I feel a little bit at ease or like sedated. I feel like I kind of just like calmed down, relaxed even more is how I'm feeling. So that's where I'm at. How about you, Jean?
I'm feeling between a 10 and a 0 because I feel the duality, right? I feel, like you said, very grounded, but I'm also connected to those things that I may sometimes fear, but also feel very elevated and relaxed and happy with myself. So thank
That's
you.
perfect. Did you feel Cooper's so loud. He just snored so loud. Did you feel anything sensory today, Jean Claude?
Yes, I felt like I was surrounded by a golden spiral of light and I was able to cleanse me. So it was really beautiful.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And Mr. Angelo, he went up 6, 7, 8. He went up 3 points in 1 minute. Good job, Angelo, for that surrendering. 3 points in 1 minute. I think that's a lot. So you absorbed and surrendered very well for that. So thank you for sharing. All right, wonderful. And let me know in the comment section and anything else you guys want to share. I would love to know about it. And as you guys know, today is the Supernatural Storytime episode, first one back. And Jean Claude's gonna entertain us, surprise us, amuse us, and hopefully allow us to feel those things that were once impossible, now possible in his supernatural story time. So we're gonna jump right into that in the moment. Now, let's go.
Hello, hello. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate that. And today I'll be talking about how I got to where I am at the moment. Whenever I was a little kid, I felt that I was visited and people came to talk to me. And they were talking to me about how my life was going to be, what I would be able to do, how long I'd be able to live. They asked me these different questions, and I felt like I was going crazy. But
When you say people, Could you
Sure.
clarify people?
Sure. They represented themselves as
Tooth fairy?
characters. Say again?
The tooth fairy? Was that where we're
Yeah,
going with
the
that?
tooth. Yeah, like the Tooth Fairy, but like its Spanish version of it, and Santa Claus, and things that would be familiar to me as a kid. And when they started talking, I guess later on I felt like they were aliens, maybe, but I really don't know who they are. I haven't asked or really dug in or investigated what they do or who they are. But later on in life, as I went through, my life, and after this experience, I had other experiences. I had a lot of experiences with death, dying different ways, getting eaten, murdered. And as a little kid, sometimes that can be really tough or scary. But it helped me realize to let go of the fear of dying. And it really helped integrate and live my life in a much happier and more beautiful way.
Wait, you're saying that these entities had you experience your death in different ways?
Possibly, I feel like that. Yes. They also, now that you mention that, it reminds me that they also allowed me to experience living life without the people that I loved, so that I would actually fully let go of who I loved, so that I could be who I am, and without, any attachments. So I got to see that made me really a little bit sad for a period of time, but that was okay. That helped me, regroup my emotions and really strengthen who I was in a way. So growing up after, these experiences, I'm still in Venezuela, where I'm from, and things are going, I guess relatively well. And I don't know it at this point in time, but I'm a channel, and I'm channeling things, and I'm, seeing things that would happen, that will happen, and feeling different situations and how to handle them. And I guess I'm intuitive in a way. That would be the same thing. Go ahead. Just keep talking. Okay.
Yeah.
And so once I move here to the US, to the United States, when I'm 8, I start to feel that I'm disconnected from where I am, and things are just falling apart. And that's one
Mm.
of like the first moments, or second moment actually, that I feel like I'm waking up. The first time that I felt like I woke up, I was like maybe 6 or 7, and it was around the time that I had these experiences. But I was like, this is too much, and I'm too different. I'm being too different around the peers that I have, and I wanted to blend in and be more like them so that I'd be more accepted. But that never worked. That just made me someone who I'm not, and really uncomfortable. So I shut it down, and then I started to feel really bad and sick again. So here I am again in the US, in the United States, in a place I don't know the language, I don't know the people, and I'm starting to refamiliarize myself with who I am and what I'm here to do. And again, these experiences begin to happen. I guess my third eye, or my heart, starts to open to see different things, and I see different things in people. And sometimes people thought I followed them, right, because of the things I'd be able to tell them. It's like, you shouldn't be able to tell me that by just looking at me. So I was able to look at them and tell them what's going on in their life, sometimes accurately, sometimes, making mistakes. We're all human, regardless of what we're able to do. And I think being humble is very important, throughout this journey.
Yes, and I feel like that's a lesson for people who are the observers, because they think that all mediums or channels should be 100% at all times. And, they kind of, I see like on YouTube where like, this is why they're fake. You know what I mean? But even an athlete that's a professional athlete, a basketball player, as an example, doesn't win every match. They can give 110% each time. That doesn't mean that the outcome is going to be perfect every time, because we are human, even if we train all the time. So I just wanted to add that to your sentiment.
Thank you. And so during this second time, I started to feel, and the same thing started to happen, but I felt like I had a group of people to support me, but I still didn't know how to really step into the unknown and really free myself from what my beliefs and my what I perceived as restraints, in order for me to step into who I was. So again, I shut that down, and I guess that was at elementary time, maybe fourth or fifth grade. And then as I'm going into middle school and high school, I start playing music, and playing music really helped me hone my ego a little bit, in a way. and understand, the balance between spirit and ego, and how they both, are intertwined, and they come to work and teach us many, many things. So during this time while I'm playing music, I felt like whenever I let go and was able to relax my body and myself and really integrate myself to the music would come out and play as it was meant. But whenever I was proud of myself, or I felt like I was the best or doing really well, things would just start to happen where I would have blocks. And based on these blocks and these, other experiences that I felt were liberating, I started to practice a little bit on letting go and not thinking so much about doing perhaps the right thing, but doing the thing that helped me let go of anything that I was holding on to. So going through these experiences, I let go, and I started going to into a, I kept growing up. I started working more with machines and computers because I've always loved electronics. And going through that, I also learned that although computers feel like they're inanimate objects, they're also very spiritual and very, open, and they interact. And as we're talking about water, they also carry memory. And although we perceive them as not living, they're very living beings, just like anything else. So let me go back to my story because I feel like I was taking off for a little bit. Um, as I'm going through high school and then into college, I start experimenting with having different relationships and being in a relationship and a partnership. And those experiences also taught me very much. And they taught me about women and about myself mostly. And they really taught me to love myself more than anything in order for me to be open and available to love someone else. So that person can also receive and also give me what I'm also needing, right? That could be that balance or that give and take. So while this happened, I got into a very depressive and alcoholic state because I just didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle my emotions. I wasn't mature enough. And this really, this really rock bottom took me to a place where it was eye-opening. You feel like you're degrading and falling and becoming and integrating. You're literally integrating into the earth, but that's just to, come back to life in a different way. And these moments, I started to seek different therapies, because I felt like I was ill and I didn't know what to do. So I started going to personal therapy, which the school offered, and it was free. And I was like, man, I'm telling them, look, I'm experiencing these things. I'm having these extrasensory experiences with different beings, and they're like, oh yeah, that's normal. And they're not talking really about it. They're just going around it and avoiding it. And I also had experiences with different family members, and I felt like I really needed to hone in and what was going on, but they were completely avoiding that. So I went on to group therapy thinking that would be different, but again, it was a lot of separation and a lot of keeping things safe and within a box. So after that, my mom at the time was doing yoga teacher training at a yoga center, and I would go there, and then I would be able to talk to people, different channels, I guess you could call it that. And it helped me feel more calm, and I felt like I could relate in ways that I could talk to different people and see what they were doing and be able to discuss what I was feeling along with what they were feeling, and feel like I was quote unquote, normal, like I actually belonged.
Normal. What is, I don't even know what this word even means.
Me either. I think it should be that probably is the disease in my opinion. I don't know. Being normal.
Being normal.
But yeah, going to the yoga center, it helped me really open myself and express myself in a different way and connect with something I didn't know, or that I guess knew innately but didn't know consciously, in my brain, to where I could open myself and be of service. And then I met a lady who did family constellations. That really threw me off, and that took me into a whole different space, because in family constellations they use people as representatives to manage and see what's going on within your family. So for example, let's say I'm working through my relationship, right? So in the constellator in the field in the room, they would grab, my dad, a representative for my dad, a representative for my mom, and then a representative for myself and maybe my partner, and I don't know if she would say maybe my grandparents and an uncle. And they would let this situation play out as the representatives felt. Now, in this situation, I felt like, and I was involved in, one of the movements, one of the constellations. I felt like I could really feel what that person who I was representing at the moment, right? Whether it be an uncle, a mother, or a son.
So
And
you're
it,
like a proxy in that moment.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that means exactly, but I feel like
Like a stand-in.
yes, like you literally become a channel for that energy at that time. But you
Okay.
don't have to be a channel, right? You don't have to be a quote unquote channel. Anyone can do it because we're human, and that's just how we interact or we intercommunicate. So that I started to go to sessions, right, with this lady, and she was able to really help me and take me out of that depression and push me towards life. Because I don't know how much time do we have left?
You have about 12 minutes.
Okay, so I felt like at that moment in time, because I was so upset, I felt like I had to leave. So I felt like I was getting called from the Orion constellation, which is kind of crazy to say, but the Orion constellation was calling me, and I'm like, what is going on? And I told my therapist, I told my parents, I told my family, I was like, look, I'm gonna go. I don't know how I'm gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna happen, but I'm gonna go. I might come back, I might not. And that really started, I started to have communications and feelings and really talking to, I felt like we're extraterrestrial beings, might as well
Wow.
be myself from a different dimension maybe, but I really don't know. But this really helped me guide and hone who I was in a different way. So through these experiences, I also went to another therapist whose name I don't remember exactly either, but he worked with feet and channelings.
Oh,
And so I went there and I laid in bed and he did, his thing. And when I connected with him, I felt like I was connecting with numbers and the universe. And I saw a lot of round things, which is kind of funny because, as you can see behind me, the pool that we work with is round. And I saw a lot of people meeting around a round table. And I thought, well, I don't know what this means. These people are all of different colors, and every time that I feel like I go to Orion, there's a round table with lots of people meeting, and there's a lot of beings.
when you say when I go to Orion,
When I feel like my consciousness, when I connect with Orion, the Orion constellation,
okay.
yeah, that's just what happens. Should I be reading these?
No.
No, don't worry about it. Okay, cool. And so yeah, whenever I felt that connection, I felt like I was, talking to aliens and stuff, and then this really strange thing happened. It's like maybe I'm from there, and I'm like, that sounds too crazy, right? For it to be true. But
Nah, I've heard
you
crazier.
know,
Being from a different planet, different galaxy, nah.
nah,
That's a regular Tuesday.
yeah, that's that's a Tuesday walk in the park from a different planet. Um, after these experiences, my mom met a gentleman whose name is Juan Carlos Arias Quintana, and he works with water. She met him through YouTube. She saw his videos. She really thought what his work was doing was really beautiful, and she invited him over to the yoga center that I previously mentioned. And she invited all her family and friends, so we were all there for the presentation. I really felt connected, and throughout the presentation I was blown away by what the water could do. But furthermore, when he gave the demo of how it worked, and while he was working in the water, I felt like the water was calling me, like literally, as I'm speaking to you now, I felt like she was talking to me. And I'm like, well, this is kind of weird. And Ganesh was, he was behind. It was really weird. So here's the pool right here. There we go. Right here. And Ganesh was right there, like behind the
Ooh.
pool. and he was doing all kinds of movements. So like these experiences, maybe I've seen, at a different level, a different dimension, like a shift, but not physically with my eyes. And I felt like it was really intense, and it was, calling me in. So I tell Master Arias this. I was like, hey, this is what's going on. What do you feel? What's going on? What about what I'm telling you? And he's like, okay, I'll follow you with whatever you're saying, with what you're feeling. At that moment, I felt like introducing a different figurine, so he let me do that. And before he left, he mentioned to my mom that I should join the School of Water,
School of
and which
Water.
I, for whatever reason, declined. I felt like it was too expensive or too much, or I wasn't capable. I really loved it, but I just shied away from it. But as soon as he left, people started to come to me asking me for help, for guidance. And I'm like, look, I know that what you're asking me, I don't have the tools, but I know that with the water, I could help guide you. And I was still in college. So during spring break of 2017, I was able to go to Mexico and join the School of Water along with my mom. That was a whole journey and story within itself. So after joining, I come back to the United States, excuse me, and during one of these sessions that I'm doing, asking questions, and because that's one of the things we could do with the water is just ask questions. I remember that the experiences that I had with the Orion constellation. So there's a group that we have. So I asked in the group if I could actually ask this question, if I could ask the water and the water memories, if I'm from Orion, from the Orion constellation, because I wanted to be able to confirm. And I asked the water, and the water is able to confirm that I am from Orion. So that really, like, it blew me away as to, who I am as a person. And it made me look and appreciate where I come from, from the stars, and also from here and from my parents. I really appreciate my parents for channeling who I am and
Oh,
what I'm here to do and to be of service. So it really, this whole work, throughout my life has really brought me back, one, to humility, to be respectful, grateful, to love, and to be of service to others, to humanity, and to the earth. Because essentially, once we do all those things and we begin to do all those things, integrating all those experiences, we're able to reach different planes. And I guess people call them higher planes. And as we reach those different levels of consciousness, we're able to be of service to different things. Now, although we call them higher, we may elevate quickly in a certain spectrum, but in order to go to the next thing, we have to be able to sustain this spectrum for an extended period of time. It can't just be, oh, I'm gonna be another planet, and maybe we could do that, and I'm not saying we can't, but in order to sustain what we are now, we have to be grateful and solve the problems that we have where we are at the moment in order for us to move on to wherever we're going to go, regardless of where it is.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if there's enough time for people who have any questions or concerns. I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, sure. If there's any questions about anything that he is speaking on, type that in the comment section below now, seekers. And he has more than enough time to answer because we have about 6 more minutes.
Okay, cool. Do you mind if I talk about the modality and what I do?
Sure. Let them know what it is, how it can be a service to them.
Okay, perfect. So what we do is called fluvial constellations, and it's work that we do in the water. We use little figurines here. Let me show you. In where we're able to use these figurines and see them float in the water. And the difference between family constellations and fluvial constellations is that in a family constellation, instead of using figurines, they use people. But the thing is, let's see, the best thing is so far as how have been the memories created with the right place at the right time. Okay, so the thing is about family constellations is that in family constellations you're use people as representatives, but the problem with that is that when you use people as representatives, they involve the mind, and the ego becomes involved, right? Regardless of what you may be thinking. You can be very good channeling and, you know, let go, but it doesn't always guarantee that the ego's not going to be involved, and it's really difficult. The benefit of having these figurines in the water is that the mind is not involved, and we're able to be guided and shown what the water and what those representatives and the family really do, without the mind of the consultant or the constellator at the moment in time. So fluvial constellations is greatly inspired, and it comes from family constellations, and family constellations comes from Bert Hellinger. Bert Hellinger is a Christian missionary who sent on a mission to the Zulu tribe, where he stays and he's able to see the relationships between people and family members there and back in Germany, and from that he's able to derive the orders of love, which state that there's an order within the family, and when that order is broken, then people start to experience different situations, more problems, and a lack of, you know, I guess in ways abundance, but in many aspects, not just monetary. So the orders of love talk to us about when we reestablish that order, then we really open ourselves to what's really meant for us in this life. So when family constellations is then further adapted into fluvial constellations, into the water, Juan Carlos Arias Quintana is the originator of the model, and he's able to see that where we as humans, he believes that there's a hydrosystemic theory that states that we're interconnected with 12 different systems, which are the spiritual system, the cosmic system, the Christ system, the inner earth system, the angelic system, the marine system, the planetary system, the universal code system, the family system, the earth, or not the earth, but the vegetable system, the animal system, and the human system. And along with all the connection of all these, 12 different systems, we're able to interact and integrate different things. So let's say, for example, I have a bad thought, or I'm angry at someone. When that small action happens here, it also happens in those 12 different systems. So it's amplified every time we have an action. And even furthermore, when we're in a grateful state, we're able to see that it also reflects and amplifies in those 12 different systems, and then it's able to be shared, and we're able to experience and see different things. So in the water, there's also the other part of the fluvial constellations is that the water has memory, and along these memories, we're able to open that portal with your name, with that code. And once we introduce your name and we open that portal for you, we're able to use and see your ancestry and yourself, using your memories and your ancestral memories to see what's going on and what's troubling you and what order you're having within your family. So yeah, thank you so much.
Wow, that's very involved. Thank you so much. And I've seen it firsthand. And I thought that was absolutely phenomenal about the information you can ascertain from something that seems hyper simplistic, but also complicated at the same time. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you put that in the comment section below. JauN Claude will be more than happy to explain anything that you're curious about. There are no dumb questions here. We're all here to learn. We're all seekers, of course. And with that being said, I'm actually going to give the stage to him to let you guys know if you feel inclined to work with him, learn more about this particular type of therapy, or feel like this is speaking to you. I'm going to give him the stage so he can let you guys know how to reach him.
Okay, so I'll give you guys, so the therapy that I work with is Fluvial Constellations. The Facebook is, facebook.com/fluvialconstellations.com or Fluvial Constellations. My phone number is going to be 936-436-6620, or if you're internationally, you make sure you add the 1. So +1 936-436-6620, and you can reach out me via phone call, WhatsApp. I was going to say Venmo, but it's not Venmo. Phone calls, messaging, Telegram, any mediums to that sort. My Instagram is going to be JauN Claude Gassaneo, and my email is going to be jaun.claude@gltcservices.com. So I'll be more than happy to be of service to you if you guys need any questions or have any concerns. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we're so grateful to have you here. And thank you so much for sharing your story. Maybe there's somebody out there who feels inspired by this or needed to hear this particular experience to help them understand their own story. So we're going to jump into a commercial break real quick here. We're going to be right back with the question of the day and the midweek collective energy check-in. So stay tuned. And we're back. Thank you for joining me. I'm your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo, and you are watching Divine Encounters. JauN Claude just shared with us a phenomenal supernatural story time here on our episode tonight. And we're going to be jumping right into the question of the day in just a moment here. Let me just check out if this is a question. Okay. And if you need to answer that, JauN Claude, you can answer that in the comment section below. But what I want to go through right now, and this question is for all of you seekers at home. You know, I invite you every week to play full out. And full out means do the entire experience, allow yourself to expand, allow yourself to receive, and see what we can come up with and how we're feeling and how we're elevated by the end of the episode. So let's jump into the question of the day. And let me just pull it right up. Here it is. Let's go. All right. The question is not just for JauN Claude, but for everybody at home. It is, what if everything is as it should be? How would that make me feel? What if everything is as it should be? How would that make me feel? And I know this is a hard question, making you think on the spot. So, how do you feel about this question? What is your answer for this question?
I feel like if everything is as it should be, then the worries or the thoughts that I have, about my future or my past, then should, vanish. I feel like that would be my answer to it. But that's just a constant reminder, something we have to do every day. And in order for us to get to that, we have to ask ourselves this question, to bring us back to the moment, to where we are, and to really flow with what we already have. So, yeah.
Absolutely true. And this is also for me, it feels like it's the acknowledgement that everything is unfolding as it should be. There is no rushing. There is no mistakes. There's calibration, 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 calibration. So instead of, what is that saying? Location, location, location. Calibration, calibration, calibration is what I'm getting for this. I'm getting touched by angels, so excuse that I'm touching my nose. Let me know in the comment section below your answer to this question, and I would love to hear about it. Wonderful. All right. So we're going to be jumping into the midweek collective energy check-in. JauN Claude, I'm going to pop you in the back for a few minutes and then have you come back with your final thoughts, okay?
No problem. Thank you.
Have some aloe water while you're back there. It's delicious. All right, guys, let's jump into that midweek collective energy check-in. It's the first one we've done in a while. Let's see what the cards have in store for us. Alrighty, you guys already know we're doing 7 cards, and I actually added a deck, the Goddess deck. I took out the Angel deck. So we're going to be starting off with the Goddess deck today. And here's our first card. The first card is Sorceress. Let me get this at a better angle. Sorceress, you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. And if we combine this with our card from earlier today, which was the 7 of Voices, it's ensuring that our intentions is what's guiding everything that we do. People give up on things in their lives because they forget their why. They become disassociated, unpassionate for things in life because they forget their why. If you know your why so closely and hold it very closely to yourself, you're going to be able to get through things that otherwise would make you quote unquote bored. Okay. So making sure that you recognize the power of creation, that creative power that you have inside of yourself and that we all have within ourselves. Our next card of the evening is going to be Believe in the Impossible. Yes, believe in the impossible. Just like that Sorceress card, that you are a magical person manifesting your intentions into reality, you have to recognize that not everything that is going to occur in your life can be guessed. Not everything can be channeled. Not everything can be known. We have to believe that we can do something and then use our energy to make practical plans, take practical application to manifest them in reality. But it all starts with that intention. And that intention comes from the emotions that we're feeling when we're in a particular space in our lives. So believing in the impossible gives you, it puts you out of the box. It means that there's no expectations, that the sky is the limit, and it allows us to be really in touch with something that is greater than ourselves. To dream even bigger is what I want to say here. And if you are dreaming big already, there's nothing stopping you from dreaming even bigger. All right. And our next card for the evening is going to be an animal card. And the animal totem, I am cracking up at this right now because I actually stopped to eat somewhere today that was called buffalo, because buffalo and bison have been on my radar lately. Since Texas, because we had some bison tacos while I was there. First time ever, was great. Anyways, I digress. The bison totem says, recognize the riches of the past and the abundance of the present. Kind of like that what if everything is as it should be card. When we are in a state of gratitude, that attitude allows us to project our dreams, our ambitions, our goals even further when we can anticipate, and recognizing that in each moment to moment, there is a blessing within that moment. It gets us out of our head and into the now moment. When we start to become jaded or feeling mentally lagged, energetically lagged, we receive more of that. So if we start to focus on those things that we actually currently have, the things that we can control, the blessings that we currently have, is going to allow us to be much stronger in our conviction in the way we tackle what is coming to us or unfolding for us, I think would be a better statement. Then we have the accept struggles as lessons. Okay, we are all going through something, and this isn't a competition. My trauma cup is bigger than your trauma cup, but we're all going through something, and each of us has our own story, or we have gone through something. But when we are in a space where we are being challenged completely all the way around in our lives, or in one particular way or another, this is saying even in that challenge there's a blessing, because in that challenge There is a lesson, there is a skill set that you are acquiring through the challenge itself. It be negotiation, it be strengthening, it be tenacity, it be bravery. There is a lesson in there, that something that is becoming a skill set in your spiritual toolbox that you get to then take forward on your journey. So accept the struggles as lessons. And if you couldn't handle it, you wouldn't have it in your lap. All right. There is nothing that is too big for you. There are just moments where we have to test ourselves. Shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. I love this. This has become who you were meant to be. As JauN Claude was speaking on how many times he died and reinvented himself. And I feel like I'm also in this process of dying and reinventing myself as the shapeshifter, projecting my consciousness into the person I want to become is essential right now. That aspect of it is entwined with believe in the impossible, that you can accomplish anything, that you can be like the bison and recognize the things that we should be grateful for, and that you are the sorceress. And all of these many facets actually accumulate to become you as the whole, right? So I love this. And we have here for our very next card, the outcome card. This is the energy that is assisting us through this whole situation of what everybody is going through. And we have Lady Aphrodite blessing the collective with love in all facets. And I feel like this is a really powerful message to end what we're learning right now. I'm trying to get this little halo off, but it's not actually working. It's a very powerful lesson to end this with, because love does conquer all things through self-love, through self-care, through allowing ourselves to be open and vulnerable to love and receive love and to give love. We see in the lens of love and things to love, okay? And this allows more states of gratitude. This allows us to be in a higher projection. You're probably asking, but Oracle, if we love everything, what about all of these bad things and X, Y, and Z? I don't want to be a toxic, positive person. And I'm not asking you to do that. Because what happens is when you fill your own cup and you love yourself so tremendously, you wind up gaining beautiful spiritual skill sets that allow you to walk away from those things that do not vibrate in the energy of love. All of those things, they fall away on their own, or they move out on their own accord, or you have the strength to do it yourself through love. Defending yourself or defending what you believe is not stepping out of love. Love is the why, okay? Love is the why. It is the fuel that fuels the passion, the desire, the movement, the momentum, and that might be projected outward differently. The same way when if someone tried to kidnap a child, if a mother stepped in and fought the person trying to kidnap a child and takes the child back, that wasn't her acting out of anger or resentment or hate. That was her acting out of love for that child, okay? So when I want you to frame love in many, with its many facets, because it's not just one thing. And let's see, we're going to end this with our angel blessing. And the angel blessing for the collective today is Angel Ariel blessing the collective with spirituality. I'm telling you, that spiritual toolbox is growing. And Angel Raphael's blessing the collective with divinity. So make sure that you guys are claiming your angel blessings there in the comment section below. The angels are here to help you, serve you, uplift you, but they respect your free will. And I am being cleared, and I just got a big dose of energy that just came in. So I'm claiming this blessing. That's for sure. All right, let's bring JauN Claude back on and see what his final thoughts are.
Hey.
Okay, my friend, how are you feeling about this collective message?
Ooh, it's absolutely beautiful. It's lovely. It's great. It's a lot, but I think it's really useful because it helps us integrate, our day to day, to never stop growing, to never give up, and to just keep moving forward, because that's just how we're meant and how we're designed. You want me to go through all the different?
You can. We have 4 minutes. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
In regards to these cards.
Okay, sure thing. So the first one was trickery, and I felt like trickery was really good because it helped us, really see what is or what isn't. Because sometimes we feel and see things, it's like, oh, I want to go there. I want to go to the purple card, but the purple card doesn't hold all the cards for you, where you are at the moment is where all the cards are for you. So the next one is the sorcerer. So the sorcerer, I feel like it helps us transform as to what they are, who we are, and that situation where what we really do want to change is actually standing where we are at the moment and really truly transforming what's going on at the moment. The third one is believe in the impossible, the blue moon. Beautiful. I love the moon and the color blue. So believing in the impossible is like sort of what I was speaking about earlier in the moment, is really seeing what's going on and letting go and knowing that once you step into like darkness, into the unknown, the stars will show up and the planets will show up and the people and the energies that you'll need at that moment. Whatever it is you're going to face will be there to support you. Then comes the bison, which is to recognize the riches of the past and the abundance of the present. So be thankful for what's already happened. Hey, Ewa, good to see you. And, use whatever has happened to make whatever is going on at the moment the best moment and the most abundant moment at this moment in time. Number 5 is accepting the struggles as lessons, and is really using everything that you've been given, same of the same. Using everything that you've been given, to the best of your ability and making a tool out of it and really using it. Because sometimes we feel like we may have had bad experiences and we want to shun them away and shut them down. But those are the tools that we're really meant to use in order for us to really move forward and be truly abundant to who we are and where we are in our heart space. The number 6 is shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. So as a shapeshifter, I feel like sometimes we may have a negative connotation to shapeshifting and being something else. But that's really what we are designed, I feel like, to do. We are a soul in a body. Mm-hmm. So just because we're a soul in a body doesn't mean we're not here to experiment and feel different things. That's, part of the whole human experience, along with many, many other things. But I feel like being able to, let's say today I experiment being the devil, right? And you may say that's a bad thing. Why would you want to be the devil? It's like, well, if I don't know how to do things against the common good then I don't know how to be of service of good. And if I didn't have this, devil experience today, then how am I going to know what the contrast is and what Absolutely. The purpose is for where I am at that moment and what I'm being of service to? So being able to transform and shift that energy whenever we may feel or interpret we're in a really, really good space and a really, really bad space, and bringing that back to balance will help us really transform who we are, power of service, and how we perceive our surroundings or where we are at the moment. Number 7 is probably my favorite, the Aphrodite, love, and that really rings for me because Aphrodite is a combination, part of it being, a sexual awakening is also the combination of male and female, and really truly sparking that joy or that excitement between a duality. Sure. And having that duality within. I feel like, for everyone who's human, regardless of your sexual orientation, we both have male and female energies within ourselves. So that really brings it in and brings it close. It's a closing circle. It's kind of funny that it has 27 because 2 plus 7 is 9, so it's the closing of that circle of cards. And it brings us back to releasing and really letting us be a catalyst to where we're wanting to go.
Absolutely. And I couldn't have said that better myself. Thank you for phrasing it that way. I hope that serves you all. And now let's close, talking about closing circle, let's close this episode con mucho, mucho amor. Let's go.
Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com, and together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor.
What a beautiful episode, and thank you all for being here. It's an honor and a privilege to be here every Wednesday and Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So take the shadows, take the light, take it all, and create the light is what I want to say about this episode. This is a time for us to learn more about who we are. And the way that's going to happen is going to be through our challenges, our successes, and our failures. It's to teach ourselves what we're made of. And there's nothing bad about that. This is just many opportunities to calibrate. Be the best version of yourself. Be of service to self. Be of service to other. Tap into that love and find your why. Because in that why, everything else can be built. Thank you for being here and creating divine experiences with us tonight. And may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, to love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels well most, just hold on. Just hold on.